smoothtickets.com. He got them tickets. I'm telling you, boxing, baseball, NBA, NFL, country music concerts, hard rock, hip-hop, theater, Broadway. He's got them all. And if he don't have them, there ain't none. I'm telling you. Smoothtickets.com. Once again, that's smoothtickets.com, or give him a call at 404-374-1150. Once again, that's 404-374-1150. You gotta tell him, though, that I sent you. You gotta tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Once again, smoothtickets.com. That's smoothtickets.com. Yeah!
The Sleeper Pick. The guy only you believe in. In 1 week fantasy football on DraftKings, he can be the difference. So trust your gut. Trust your numbers. Trust your Uncle Vito if you want. But know this, that sleeper is out there. The question is, who's going to play him? This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time.
To create your account, click on the banner link on thedougstewartshow.com or the Doug Stewart Show app. There's a storm coming. A firestorm. Get ready to raise your game because watching sports will never be the same. Introducing Fire Fan. It's a game changer. Finally, a sports app that puts you into the game. You predict the scores, you call the plays in real time while you watch and compete against sports heroes, celebrities, friends, family, or other die-hard fans. The more you call it, the more points you can achieve. Also, be a loyal fan and earn loyalty rewards. Don't miss the hottest app of the year, Fire Fan. Ignite your passion. Yeah! Yes, sir. Yeah. Register now at firefan.com today. Enter player rewards code TDSS. That's player rewards TDSS. Play the game, fan the fire, earn rewards.
Jack Frost done lost his mind.
All right, Tone, get the plane.
Yeah. Miami. South Beach, bringing the heat.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show.
Can y'all feel that?
Y'all just witness how it happens, man. I forget about the blood pressure thing, man, and I just go absolutely ham. Calm down, Ninja. Calm down, Ninja. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. This is a Throwback Thursday. We're throwing it back to 1999. One last comment about Stan Van Gundy. I gave him a lot of big ups just now, and I saw a lot of comments in the chat room, people talking about it, and agreeing with me. But let me say this one thing. What Stan Van Gundy said, as I continue to say and I continue to throw out there, is common sense. And I hit this a couple of days ago. As a matter of fact, it was probably Monday or maybe it was Friday last week when I talked about I really wish that white people would stand up in a lot of the protests that we're having today with black people. This has nothing to do about white and black. It's about right and wrong. It's about civility. It's about watching a person get shot in the back 5, 6, 7 times in Charleston, South Carolina, and saying that that's wrong. So it shouldn't just be black players protesting or making a stance. Why aren't their white teammates supporting them? It shouldn't just be Stan Van Gundy. It should be anybody when asked about this question about this election and recapping what happened and talking about the candidates. It shouldn't be Stan Van Gundy's the only coach on record that goes ham and trying to figure out how could people go and vote for Donald Trump. It should be every NBA coach. It should be every NFL coach. It should be every college football coach. There should be no examples of what Jim Harbaugh said about Black Lives Matter and about Colin Kaepernick. There should be no examples of what Dabo Swinney said. Right is right. This isn't hard. This isn't brain surgery. This isn't hard. Donald Trump has shown you who he's been over the last year and a half. Why do we think he's anybody different? Why do we think that he's going to be different, when this election is over? And he's making all these statements, oh, we got to come together, this, that, and the other. I don't believe that. I mean, it might happen. He may end up being the greatest president of all times. But there's nothing that he said over the last year and a half, as a matter of fact, over his entire life, that makes us believe that that's going to be the case. So, I mean, Stan Van Gundy, in my book, man, he gets an incredible ball award, man. But that's what he's supposed to do. Like, you remember when you were a kid, I don't know, at least in my house, and you tried to get, pay, or you tried to get some type of credit for something that you were supposed to do. And my old man was like, I'm not paying you. That's what you're supposed to do. You don't really get a lot of credit. You're not supposed to get a lot of credit for something you're supposed to do. So, because it's so different of an opinion that we've heard from celebrities, people, big name people in this country, I'm giving them a lot of credit. But damn it, everybody should be talking and saying the same things as Stan Van Gundy said. How about that? It ain't hard, man. It ain't hard. I'm going to try to read some of these messages in the chat room on Spreaker.com. We're still talking about 1999. That's the years, or today's throwback year. From Gregor in the chat room, Trump may surprise some of you. Damn, Gregor, we know that you voted for Trump. We know. We still love you, though. But if he surprises me, that's what it'll be, a big-ass surprise. Like, in effect, what you're saying is, if you're going to try to validate Donald Trump and saying that he may surprise you, you're already taking into consideration, or your feelings going into it is that it's not going to be good. If you're saying that he might surprise us, then that's not a good indicator. From the very rip, you're saying that it's not good, he might surprise us. And you went out and voted for him? I'm not saying you in particular, Gregor. I was just joking. But you probably did vote for Trump. I mean, hell, you don't like KRS-One. But that's not a good indicator. That's no way to go into the voting booth. I don't like Hillary and Trump. He might surprise us. He might not be the person that he's talked about or talked like over the last year and a half. He might surprise us. I'm going to go vote for him. What? What kind of backwards ass thinking is that? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, he might surprise us. Oh, well, let me ask you this. If you think that Donald Trump is going to be a totally different person, and I'm just talking in general. I'm not talking to Gregor or any particular person that went out there and voted for Donald Trump. I'm talking to everybody that rationalized voted for Donald Trump. If you thought that Donald Trump was going to change and all the rhetoric that he spewed over the last year and a half was just to get him elected, okay? Then what's the point of the damn election? Think about that now. If you think that everything that he said and everything he stood for and all of this rhetoric that he spewed over the last year and a half was just so he could get elected, just in effect so he could bamboozle America for voting for him, okay? What's the point of the election? What's the point of the debates? Calm down, Ninja. Step back for a second. Step back for a second. What's the point of the debates? What's the point of the campaign period if you're just going to ignore what the candidate said? If you're going to ignore what the candidate said and still vote for the less qualified person, the person that's shown themselves to be an idiot, what's the purpose of the campaign period? What's the purpose of those 3, 4, 5 debates that him and Hillary had if you're going to ignore what he said and ignore what she said and the comparison of the two and what they said? And comparatively speaking, like if you're going to ignore everything that Hillary Clinton said for the last year and a half and ignore all the idiotic things that Donald Trump said in the last year and a half and vote for Trump, what's the point of having a campaign? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, this, man, I said it yesterday, man. And you see people protesting all over the country, man. To those people, I understand. Let your opinions out. Let your voices be heard. But it's not going to change anything. It's not. Now you got people mad. And saying, and I saw this video, and maybe you've seen it as well. It had over 1 million hits on social media. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. There's this guy, CNN, caught on the streets of New York, and he just went ham about this electoral college and how, it's stupid. It should be vote for vote. Well, you never said that before. I'm pretty sure there were people that were screaming that same thing when Barack got elected, and people that voted for Barack, they weren't trying to hear that then. So I'm not a proponent of, because it didn't go our way, then we need to change every damn thing. I'm not going to go that far, okay? In the Electoral College, if you didn't know the purpose of it or the reason why, the framers of this country, the way it goes is, and it makes kind of sense if you think about it, is they didn't want people, that were unsavvy. And this is crazy because this is the reason why we did the Electoral College. The reason we did the Electoral College, the founders of this country, was they didn't want factions of crazy people that got together and influenced the outcome of the election for the president. I think it's only the presidency that they have this Electoral College. Okay? So they didn't want a bunch of racist people getting together and have 50% or more of the voting to go in there and vote for, the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. That's the way it was supposed to work, And if you did it where it was popular vote, then that could actually happen. More so than it could happen with the Electoral College. So I'm not one of these people out here saying, we need to change everything, it's screwed up or whatever. No, it was fine when Barack won 2 times, and I'm sure there was a lot of people. So damn it, it's okay now. You can't change the rules to the game in the middle of the damn game. I'm not with that at all, okay? But that being said, this is the most incredible, ridiculous thing that I think that I've ever seen from this country. Okay? Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. And I've been railing on this and talking about it and whatever, and getting my brush up or whatever, but it still stings 2 days later. Okay? All right? And so, I mean, at some point I'm going to have to move on. I'm going to have to get into this sports more because that's what we tend to, most of the time do around here. But I get it, but it's too late now. And we were urging all of y'all to go out there and vote, and I'm sure there's a lot of people listening to the show right now that didn't vote. And it's too late now. Hillary's they still haven't finished counting up all of the votes. She's going to win the popular vote, but damn it, the popular vote, you knew that wasn't the way they elected the president. You knew it. And if you thought that, you were just going to let everybody go out there and handle it for you and Hillary's going to win, there's no way Donald Trump could win, shame, shame, shame on you. Shame on you. All right? Shame, to quote the great Jim Nabors, a.k.a. Gomer Powell. Gomer Powell, USMC. Shame, 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 shame on you. I used to love me some Gomer Powell, man, USMC. Speaking of veterans, were y'all a fan of the great Gomer Powell? If Gomer Powell were here today, he'd just say shame on y'all, man. It's too late now. They're not going to do no do-over. As a matter of fact, him and Barack met up today, or supposed to meet up today. They got to brief this man. This man is about to put together his cabinet. This man is about to put together, just a clan of imbeciles. Newt Gingrich about to get some love. Rudy Giuliani about to get back some power. Cats like that.